On October 23, 1967, Juanito Victor Katibayan Remulla Jr., also known as Jonvic, was born to Juanito Johnny Remulla Sr. and Ditas Katibayan. He went to De La Salle University for his elementary education, Ateneo for high school, and UP Diliman for college, where he took a degree in philosophy. Jonvic took many similarities with his father, his buttery smooth face and clear smile, joining the same fraternity, being very touchy with the Marcoses, and being very present in politics in Cavite, where his father is the longest sitting governor in the province history, sitting as governor for about 17 years. In 1995, Jonvic became a board member of Cavite's legislature, representing the province's 2nd district. In 1998, he ran as vice governor of Cavite and won, later winning a second term after teaming up with Imus representative Ayong Maliksi. Jonvic would later expose Maliksi for purchasing over 7.5 million pesos worth of rice, resulting in Maliksi being suspended and Jonvic claiming the governorship. Maliksi's suspension was lifted 5 months later, making Jonvic the vice governor again. And then Maliksi was suspended again, making Jonvic the governor again. And then Maliksi's suspension was lifted again, making Jonvic the vice governor again. And then 9 months later, Maliksi was suspended again, making Jonvic the governor for the 3rd time until Maliksi's 3rd 6-month-long suspension was lifted for lack of merit, making Jonvic the vice governor again. Despite the amount of attention Jonvic gained from this situation, he decided to not run for governor in 2007. He would later run as governor in 2010, defeating Vice Governor Dencito Campana, whom Maliksi supported. Maliksi then lost against Jonvic in 2013. A year later, Jonvic became the spokesperson for Vice President Jejomar Binay. Jonvic would later campaign for Binay's presidential campaign, promised to be assigned as the Secretary of the Department of Interior in local government. But days before the 2016 election, Jonvic would later move to the camp of Duterte. Unfortunately for him, he didn't become the secretary and would later run for the governorship of Cavite again in 2019, facing yet again Maliksi and winning. Jonvic would then win another term as governor in 2022 while supporting the Uniteam camp. This time, Jonvic did become the secretary of the DILG in 2024, vacating the governorship and replacing senatorial candidate Benher Abalos in October 8, 2024. During his time as governor, Cavite was regarded as one of the top performing provinces in the country. His decade-long career as governor involved infrastructure projects, crime prevention, scholarships, and green-friendly initiatives that have been met with strong support from voters of Cavite. But despite this, unlike his face, Jonvic hasn't had the cleanest of careers. In 2016, he was accused of political turncoatism after jumping ship from Binay's camp to Duterte's. In 2024, Jonvic and his family were accused of being involved with a Philippine offshore gaming organization after the investigation and closure of a Pogo facility in Island Cove, Cavite, which exposed human trafficking of illegal Chinese workers. In 2018, the Remullas sold the island, which they owned and used to be a resort, to a group of businessmen. But despite these controversies, Jonvic's early tenure in the DILG was rather quiet, focusing on improving department operations, promoting crime prevention, public safety, and open local government. But in 2025, Jonvic became a center of a heated discussion. During the typhoon season, Jonvic was widely criticized by Filipinos for his announcements on school suspensions. While many people and government officials view his posts as conversational and humorous, many others find them informal, disrespectful, unprofessional, and insensitive to what was expected to be an urgent announcement about a crisis. Initially defending his style of post, Jonvic would apologize and discontinue this style of announcements. During the height of the flood control controversy, Jonvic became the center of discussion again when he started appearing in rallies and protests, standing there menacingly.
He's just standing there, menacingly!
His presence at these rallies was to monitor the protests and oversee police deployment. Unfortunately, the way he looks makes it look like he's some sort of king overseeing peasants, like he's intentionally doing it at this point. He's aura farming. He's trying to mug everyone here. You could say he's trying to be the main character. Once he gets a video or two in for social media, he just disappears. What does he even do? And I'm sorry, but that outfit style is just not the best for you. You look like you skipped leg day. multiple times. The criticisms of Jonvic died down by the end of 2025, but that's not where the video ends yet. In just 3 days, about 50,000 people were apprehended by the police in Metro Manila. A large chunk of them were released with a warning, while some were fined and even faced legal cases. There was no big-scale riot, there was no mass criminal operation. It was just 3 regular workdays. Despite reports of lowered crime rates, many critics find the initiative an illusion. Metro Manila is one of the most unequal cities in terms of urban housing. With limited green spaces and priced out of many hobbies or activities, many in these dense neighborhoods have to make do with what they have to pass the time. Many of them also don't have the luxury of air conditioning, employment, or nurturing of children. The street became the third spaces for many Filipinos. Children playing street games, late-night karaokes, people drinking and smoking outside, even just people loitering around near sari-sari stores. I can say that many are watching this video have seen this kind of sin in their community. Some see tambays or loiters as a sign of an active community and a part of Philippine culture. However, many of these practices are regulated or outright banned due to public safety concerns. On April 6, 2026, the Safer City Initiative was launched to promote public safety in dense urban areas of the country. The initiative involved increased police presence in public areas, from schools, malls to bars and clubs. The initiative also involved tightening enforcement on public safety violations, from curfews for karaoke and children outside past 10 p.m. to the ban on public consumption of drinking, smoking, and even being shirtless. While considered minor offenses, the chief of the PNP considers them as breeding grounds for crime. The following are public rules as a statement of public discipline and cooperation. In less than a month, 164,000 cases of violations of the initiative were recorded. The most common violations are public drinking and smoking, curfew violations, and shirtless people in public. The thing is that this initiative isn't preventing these issues, but simply punishing those who do it, because it doesn't address the factors behind their actions. They're warning people not to do it, and once they stop doing this operation, people will just go back to doing these violations again. These people are poor, unemployed, hungry, sad, or directionless, and instead of allowing them to direct their lives into a proper, stable, and morally ethical life, they are fined, warned, or even arrested for behaviors that are caused by their economic status. The government is the entity that is the one that should be helping out these people to a better life, not because it is morally right, but so that these people can further contribute to the country through their economic output or participation in community work. Instead, they are fined and charged for behavior that the government can fix. This is just a performative operation meant to project themselves as people in control or people with the necessary authority to be feared. This is an anti-poor campaign meant to trick the people into believing that these people are the issue. You don't see wealthy people being caught because they're rich. They have air conditioning, cars, jobs, or hobbies and interests. These people are stuck in the heat, surrounded by a slum with no airflow. Some are doing construction in public or outside their house, and they're being nabbed. Some can only drink to drown their sorrows. Kids are going out at night because their parents have given up or are too exhausted from work. This initiative is missing so many other steps. It's just a band-aid. It's a band-aid solution. There's no infrastructure for uplifting the struggling. Nothing. I still think the initiative is necessary, but again, it doesn't address the core issues of these violations. It would have been nice if someone in the DILG communicated with other people in the government to fix these issues. Maybe, I don't know, stop deforestation, offer employment opportunities, because it starts to feel like this initiative is a cheap tax on the poor, less a promotion of discipline and public safety and more of an illusion of control and fear that once this enforcement disappears, these violations will occur all over again. But yeah, you could say that the only person arrested under Jonvic's time as the DILG secretary was a random construction worker who just so happens to be shirtless in public. After the return of Senator Bato de la Rosa on May 11, 2026, an arrest warrant was presented by the NBI and former Senator Antonio Trillanes from the International Criminal Court, accusing the senator of inciting multiple human rights violations and participating in a genocide. Despite this, Jonvic denied police intervention for Bato's arrest. 2 days later, due to a miscommunication and tension between the Senate and the NBI, 2 officials of both institutions fired multiple shots. Jonvic went to the Senate. Again, not to arrest Bato, but to check on everyone. Well, he's checking on everyone well, huh? You know who he didn't check on with? Yeah, but two escaped. This wasn't a good look as Jonvic had already failed to arrest former Representative Zaldico, not only facing allegations of incompetence, but also maybe siding with a particular camp. Jonvic then did his job and led the arrest of Senator Jinggoy Estrada, and then when the wannabe Blue Hearing Committee tried to bring the 18 Marites, Jonvic finally did his job again, using his body to try and push them away. All by himself. I mean, yeah, it didn't really work out, but the thought counts. Jonvic, however, stated that he was there to try to keep things orderly and provide security, and that he didn't actually try to block anyone but simply deployed a defensive stance. Playing a 1v50 is tough. Before I end this video, I want to explore this Reddit post. Jonvic Remulla, my idol. Your thoughts on Jonvic Remulla? Idol ko talaga siya. As per the video, tinulak naman talaga siya. Fake news talaga na hinawang ni Jonvic Remulla si Senator Robin Padilla and 18 ex-Marines na dadalo sa hearing ng Blue Ribbon Committee. Anyway, videos won't lie. Truth will prevail. Sana tumakbo ng higher position. He has dreamt of being the president one day, and then gave up. Look, no matter how strong or good-looking a person may be on camera, no matter how much they overfarms or mugs anyone, if you don't do shit, you're not getting shit. During his time in the DILG, all he has ever done is play for the camera, and with his skeptical political affiliation, at this point all that guy has going for him is being a Remulla. All his life, his surname had carried him through his career. It's just apparent that his incompetence is showing in a position that requires more than a surname or media attention. Like it's literally Vince Dizon, but without the work. You know, I mean, Jonvic is practically trying so hard to be the main character in a show that everyone forgets him. Even if he's included in presidential discussions, he has little to no support because he does almost nothing for the people. All he does is aura form.